Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chessyard. And this is dhairyabagga, and I'll be playing the 5 minute blitz today on chess.com. So, yeah, let's get started. I'll choose the 5 minute one. All right, we have got the white pieces. We'll start with the queen's pawn opening today. I'll just maximize the view. Develop the knight on f3, bishop to f5 by the opponent. I develop bishop to f4, pawn e6. I respond with pawn e3. He moves c6. Now here actually we can start to open up things. The only thing that can cause a bit of trouble is queen to b6, but yeah, let's start off with c4. If he takes, bishop gets a good square. He doesn't. I don't want to give him a dark square bishop, so I'll try to put. No, I'll just keep my bishop backwards. If I place the knight in between, he moves the pawn. I have to retrieve my knight. Plus, my bishop is hanging, so the pawn structure will anyways get spoiled. So, this was better, which is fine. Now we can develop the knight, I assume. Where his knight is going to go from here? Either the f6 or b6. So, we can control the b6 at least by moving the pawn forward. Let's exchange the light square bishop as well. He doesn't take. Okay. We shouldn't take as well. Let's wait. Since he has castle on the queen side, now pawns will start to march towards the king here. He wants to take the knight. My pawns will be doubled up, which is not good. Also, he might to take the pawn here on g3, so that his queen can follow up with a check. So I'm trying to save the position here. He gives a check. I think I should just move the king away. Nothing to be bothered. Now we can exchange the knights, or what can we do? We can place the rook on b file and push the b pawn forward now. Yes, let's complete attack towards the king. Nothing is stopping. We'll just take the pawn. If he takes, we take back with the a pawn. He doesn't. I'll take and fall by a check, and his queen is gone. So yeah, keep attacking. He attacked me on my king side. I attacked him over the other side of the board. A check is on the cards. Sorry. Check. I can give another check and take the rook. I take. If he takes, he doesn't. Hmm. Yeah, things look fine. I need to take queen into the picture now. But yeah, let's first clean up some pawn over there. Knight can be moved. I don't care about the other knight right away. I should save my knight. He is. Let's save this position first. I don't want anything to be any kind of a mess here. Why take chances when you are in control? This is absolutely fine. I'll just save with the pawn, making sure the rook is blocked. How about g4 here? He takes. I have couple of defenders. I'm okay. I have queen. Or we can exchange the knights first. Give him a check, and that looks better. Doesn't matter what he is doing. We'll give a check. He takes with the knight. I take with the queen. Get an active square for the queen as well in the process. This is completely fine, and that should be a check. Or I can give a check from here and take the rook as well. This looks better. And he resigns. Okay, so just one mistake as computer suggesting. If I open the game report, it takes me to other tab that will not be recorded. So yeah, anyways, we'll just walk back through the game, how it went. Started with queen's pawn opening, knight development, standard development moves. Yeah, this was good. Moving the c pawn forward, bishop exchange happening, brings the queen. But bringing the queen here on c7 wasn't much of an active position, because since the pawn structure was spoiled on the king side, plan was never to castle on the king side. So queen to c7 makes sense when opponent has castled on the king side, which I didn't in this game. Then he develops the knight, and I've this again pushing the pawn forward, not letting your opponent do what he wants to. He wanted to develop the knight on b6 here, so I stopped it by moving the pawn forward. He develops the other knight. We go for bishop exchange so that there is no bishop pair remaining. If I take the bishop here, the problem was he takes back with the center pawn. Yes, his pawns get doubled up, but the e file will get opened up where his rooks are already connected. So either of the rook can come on the e file, and my king is in center. So that creates a lot of weaknesses for the king. So rather, I started pushing towards the side where king has castled, which was the queen side for my opponent, and I started pushing the pawns forward. Here he tries to go for a tactic where he generally you would see uh, the knight would take the g3 pawn, and once we take back, he takes with the queen. So that's kind of a positional advantaged tactic rather than going a piece up or exchange up. He's going exchange down. He is giving his knight for two pawns, but yeah, his queen enters the king side, which can be deadly. He can in future take the g2 pawn and create some weaknesses further, and we will not be able to castle immediately. Plus the bishop lies here, so in case we move the queen, the bishop will take on the bishop. I'll just try to show the lines if possible here. No, it's not. Okay. Then going forward, I developed. So I bought my knight in the support of the pawn. So he changed his plan, gave me a check, and here casting was one option. No, casting was not an option here. I could have gone with the knight back development, but then he takes with the knight, and pawn structure gets spoiled, and things like that can happen. We so yeah, it was a controlled thing, and we'll go back to the game once. Why is he getting the knight now? Because I moved the knight. Okay, so after he moved his queen, I had moved the king away on f. So yeah, that was the game. Why is it not showing the analysis? I need to check it somewhere. Live analysis. Yeah, this should help. Okay. I need to change the mode as well so that I can play. We'll go directly to the previous position. Yes, he had castled. I moved the pawn forward, defended, then moved the king to F1 here. He starts attacking on the king side now because he sees that king has shifted to the king side. So here again, this rook move was also nice because the pawn on a file is already protected with the queen. The idea was to push pawns forward towards the king, so which he ignored, and he moved his knight. He was trying to attack, and I was doing a counter attack from the king side here. Pushed his queen back, pushed the pawn forward. He again ignores it and moves the pawn on g5. Now, if I can capture this, of course, because it's being supported by the knight, so that cannot happen. Uh, okay, I'll turn on the evaluation as well. So yeah, white is way ahead in evaluation. Nothing is bothering much. Uh, so I captured the pawn. He takes back, give a check, and he moves the king, and the only move there. And there comes the rook. He has to take. We take back. The queen is gone from the game. He tries to continue the attack on the h file. Here I give a check with the intent of capturing a pawn and forking the rook and king in the next move. And then we take the rook here. He moves his king towards the safety. I took the pawn here. So the idea was I don't want his pawn to be capturing my pawn and spoiling the things on the king side. I was okay losing this knight because I was in complete control. So I didn't pay attention to that. I gave away the knight, took the pawn on h file. Again here, it is very easy to find a retrieval square for a bishop here. I can easily move it to c6. I can easily move it to a6 as well, but the plan was key. I will not move it. Rather, I'll push the pawn forward. That's what I did in the game. I moved it to c6, blocking the file of the rook. Here he tries to threaten the queen. So here again, I just ignored that threat because I wanted to give a check first. And whenever you're giving a check, so there's no threat actually remaining. He takes back with the knight, and now we take back with the queen. So now the queen and rook are aligned on the h file. King is there with almost a negligible support, only of the bishop, and that's what he tries to do. Computer suggesting it's mate in 8, giving him a check, and here he resigns. So yeah, the lines were nice here. There was nothing much left after this point. He can actually just push the pawn forward, but then his rook is hanging. If he So yeah, there's nothing much remaining. Next can be a check from the h8. So just mating pattern remains from here. I hope you like the game. I'll try to make sure the evaluations and analysis is better going forward as well. Keep watching, and thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.